Recently, I bought my dream V8 Mercedes, taking a huge risk because it's been in an accident. And over the past few weeks, I've been rebuilding it, but the other day, I got a worrying phone call. A phone call uncovering the intentionally hidden truth about this car, telling me that I had been scammed. Buying a crash damaged car from the auctions always comes with a huge risk. Oh, what was that? Absolutely nothing. Auction sites know this and put disclaimers on their listings because these cars are often at the auctions due to theft, a very bad accident, or sometimes dodgy criminal activity. The car world is packed with people trying to rip you off, and people go as far as committing fraud to make the most out of the sale.
After falling victim to an online marketplace scam.
The entertainment screen broken.
And today I'll show you how to potentially avoid the same mistake I did, so hopefully you won't get trapped in a scam. So this is everything that we need in order to finish the E63. And given our current situation, which you'll find out soon, the E63 is still sitting here, crashed, damaged, and needs to be fixed. So I've still got to fix it, and I've got all these parts, which were very hard to find, mind you, because it's an AMG. And before we start putting this car back together and potentially taking it for its first drive, fingers crossed, let's talk about what I found, which kind of changes my entire outlook on this build. The other day, I got a phone call from Fraser. He told me that he had discovered some interesting information on the history of this E63, and he told me that criminals have owned this car in the past. Fortunately, he was able to come down to the shop and show you guys what he had found, and it sucks that I have to share this with you guys. So the other day, I got a phone call from a friend named Fraser. Fraser, what do you do?
Hey, so yeah, I'm Fraser. I've always had a passion for cars, and I've got a background in IT and business. And what I do is I run a business called Motor Registry, me and my business partner. And really what it's about is giving like the full history, the full transparency of a car, its potential secrets, from if it's been written off, stolen, odometer, service history, all those things. We've built something that's really unique that no one else in Australia does.
So Fraser has created a business to help car enthusiasts just like yourself to find the history of vehicles you want to buy so you don't get scammed.
So yeah, once I saw the video on YouTube that Rex had posted a couple of weeks ago, I then searched the VIN and the rego on our online service, and my business partner and I then jumped on a phone call and started unpacking what we saw, which was multiple movement records, service history, some odometer history that we'll probably talk about in a minute of what we've uncovered.
Yes, that one's really bad.
It's a bit of a killer. And what that sort of did for Rex, and what that means is this car really worth what he paid for it, even though it was cheap? Was it a bargain?
So before I bought the car, I had done my own digging to make sure that the car wasn't written off or stolen. You can do a $2 government PPSR check to protect yourself a little bit from being scammed, but this clearly wasn't enough.
I was really hesitant, really worried, should I give him a call and actually tell him and give him the news, and what could we do with it? And that kind of led us to doing this video for you guys today.
Now, I also searched the VIN in Google because sometimes you can find some more information, and I did find this before I bid on it. There were 2 sales on greys in 2023, one on the 26th of April, and the car had 141,300 kilometers. Now, only a couple months later, on the 3rd of October, the odometer showed 141,700 kilometers. The car had barely been driven in the time that it was bought the second time. This was a little bit sus. Now, on the auction page, the odometer showed 154,000 kilometers, and because the Greys auction said that the engine had turned over about 10,000 kilometers ago, that's why I bought it. I bet it on the fact that the engine was okay 10,000 kilometers ago, but what I found out from Fraser absolutely shocked me. I guess we'll stop sort of hiding the information that we found on the car, but yeah, do you want to grab the report out and show us sort of what you found?
Yeah, sure. So
you can probably guess, guys, it's to do with the odometer reading. I've been scammed, essentially. Fraud has been committed. This was intentional.
Yeah, and I think that that's the wildest thing here is it was so authentic how this came about and what we did, and I'm excited that we're here today to educate you guys and show what's up. So if I come back to the beginning of what we have here, this is our online report, and I did this for Rex, and it shows the previous sales histories and things like that. It was a little bit sus because it went from April 23, there was an auction in Victoria, Dandenong, you can see here. Then quite soon after, it didn't sell. It went to New South Wales. I then tried to sell it there. Not too suspicious, but then we looked at the location history. We saw that it had been in Toorak for a period of time. Then it went to Airport West. So now we're starting to see lots of changes in only a couple of years.
That is crazy though. The fact that you can sort of see where the car had been.
Yeah.
So Fraser was able to find some history on the previous locations of where this E63 was situated. This honestly felt kind of illegal.
And then if we sort of start peeling through the rest of the report, you can see different dates and timestamps where there's been services, what the service cost was it a standard service, significant repairs, minor services, and we're kind of building up the point around this odometer.
Yes.
But basically we're winding all the way up to here. We've got some Odo readings here, we've got the listed sales stuff. I'll keep going and I come up to this bit here, which is the odometer history. So if I come up to here, we can see from 2015 all the way through to 2024, we've got odometer readings all the way, but the killer.
That is a little bit weird. Someone has committed fraud. Someone in the past has committed fraud and rolled back the odometer. This is completely illegal.
Nobody ever got rich being honest.
A previous seller of the car has made more money on the sale because they have committed a crime. And unfortunately now, it's in my possession.
So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. And if I go back all the way through the report, we also did some other checks around, insurance claim information, so not if it had been written off, finance owing checks, written off checks, stolen checks, recall information. We did all that and it checked out all right, but fundamentally, if we look at the top of the report and scroll down, the first big warning, if I really unpeel it back and go, odometer Rhineback.
This is a serious offence, it is a straight scam, and according to the Consumer Affairs Victoria, you can face imprisonment for up to 2 years. So basically, what you're saying is, if I got this report, I could have had all this information and avoided buying this car and now not be at a loss.
Yeah. Pretty much, man. Look, the business that we've created, as I said, it's really unique. We're the only ones that have this level of depth in the country, with over 280 million vehicles and records for warranty, maintenance, repair, service history. This is truly unique of what we're doing. It's still, we're lifting up the hood a little bit here in a way that we're showing what is capable and what's possible. We're still bringing more data into it. We've also got damage and insurance claim history as well. So that's not written off. That's actually if this car had been in a crash but not written off. In this situation, maybe you would have still bought it. I don't know, yeah. It sucks a lot because obviously I've been scammed and I can't do anything because the auction website actually has a massive disclaimer. Like if you do buy a car, you're sort of buying it as is. So like even if there's odometer fraud, you can't really do anything about it. So I'm stuck with this thing and I do have to fix it. But if I probably got this information earlier, I don't actually know if I would have bought this thing. Yeah, I mean, I come back to the time when I talked to you on the phone only a week or so ago, and you said straight away, man, this car's actually not worth what I bought it for. And that's the point of why we've created this business, is to give you as a potential buyer transparency.
So if you're looking to buy a car, check out motorregistry.com.au and get a comprehensive report. Now, only if the information is out there, you'll get an option to get a comprehensive plus report, which will appear during the checkout process. This will allow you to check if the odometer has been rolled back and potentially vital information to help prevent you from making the same mistake I did. You can also use code REXH for a discount.
It's a platform that's continuing to develop. There's so much more that's coming over the next wee while that we're going to be releasing. So you're basically stopping people from getting scammed in a way, because pretty much, man. I've been scammed. Yeah. Well, that kind of sucks. But I've got more information about this car. I actually got in contact with the previous owner, or one of the previous owners. So make sure you click subscribe, because in the next video, I'm gonna show you what I found from the previous owner of this car. Regardless, the car is still sitting here at the shop and I need to fix it. I need to get this thing back on the road because I guess there's not really much we can do at the moment. So let's start fixing it. In the last video, we tried to pull out the frame on the E63 with Peter's Surf. Oh shit! And unfortunately, we weren't able to get a great result. There's still a big kink in the frame right here, so we're gonna try it with some heat. I've also got the boys over here working on the VT. This is Shane, and he's basically a jack of all trades and a master of all. What do you do?
So pretty much anything. I mean, my old shop I used to run, I'd do mechanical to paint to fab at the end of the day, so sort of a bit of everything.
Look at this job, guys, this is crazy. He has built some incredible cars and has been helping Nathan with the frame damage on his VT Commodore, and Shane offered his help to fix the E63.
Heat up that metal, get it cherry hot, and then from there you'll be able to just slowly tap tap it and manipulate it straight.
We're gonna use an oxy torch now because Shane reckons my little blowtorch isn't good enough. With a bit of persuasion from Shane and an oxy torch, Shane was able to get the frame rail completely straight. Bro, Shane killed it. It is looking perfect. I'll show you in a second, but bro, massive shout out to you.
It's good, it's straight, it'll bolt on straight at the end of the day.
To Shane's standard, it's probably like not ideal, but to my standard, I'm pretty happy with that. So thanks, bro. Look at that. So this was completely folded all the way back. It is looking so good. Very nice and straight. So much better than what it was like before. For reference, you can see how much of an angle the radiator support bracket was on before Shane started hammering it. So good. Very nice and straight. With everything straight, I bolted up the radiator support this time for good, and now it was time to unbox our new parts. So now that we have the crash bar on nice and straight, thanks to Shane, it's looking perfect. We can now start installing all of our new parts. So this is everything that was in the box. This is our radiator fan, and this is our radiator. These were very difficult to find because obviously, like I said in the previous video, the AMG stuff is a little bit different to the parts car. Yuck. I also managed to find this as well. This is the air suspension bracket because, yeah, I don't know how I would have bent that back. That would have been impossible. And we of course have all of our stuff from our parts car that needs to go on as well. Before we chuck the radiator on and everything, I do need to replace some of these pulleys. That one's pretty bad, and this one also is pretty bad. And the AC pulley as well, I took off and made a huge mistake because on the parts car, the AC pulley is actually the exact same. And when I went to take this off, I destroyed it. I broke it. So I've had to order a pulley all the way from America because I didn't want to get a new AC compressor because that's expensive, and that one looks like it's in good shape. And I also do need a power steering pump pulley as well. The power steering pump should be okay. It looks like the pulley just exploded. While I waited for those parts to come from overseas, I started to install the air suspension bracket. Now, as you can see, there are a bunch of wires, lines, and bits of metal everywhere. I sort of had to figure out everything as I did the job, but it was definitely not straightforward. The crash bar for some reason doesn't have another hole. I'm guessing it's because maybe this crash bar didn't come with the air suspension. So I'm just gonna drill and tap, already marked it right there. And I'm going to put my own threads in with a riv nut. And if you don't know what a riv nut is, it's basically a rivet with a thread. So we're able to drill a hole, rivet that in, and then we have a thread for our bracket to screw into. From here, I started installing the air suspension lines. There's like this junction box that all the lines connect into. And then I moved the wires to where they sort of looked like they needed to be. So this is the air compressor that lifts up the suspension, and a few of the brackets are a little bit bent, but luckily this is salvageable because we obviously saw the car lift up, so it definitely works. The brackets though are very bent, but that's all right. We're just gonna bend them back together. And look at that. Looks like we should be able to get this on. This would have been expensive if we had to buy another one of these, so I'm glad we're able to save this. Now, fortunately, the wiring was pretty much unharmed in the accident. There was only like 2 or so plugs with a bit of damage, but that's super easy to fix. So I used a soldering iron and melted everything back together. And from there, I was able to basically install the rest of the air suspension. All right, guys, the air system is almost done. There's just one little thing that I'm a little bit confused about, which I'll show you in a second, but look at this. Everything's plugged in, everything's nice and solid. The compressor is in there. It looks complicated as hell, I know. And this is what I'm confused about. So this is the secondary air pump, I believe, and this needs to sit somewhere around there. However, all the brackets are all bent. I'm hoping that this thing still works as well. And we've also got the other piece of the bracket as well, which has AMG on it. So I'm pretty sure this is a AMG only part, which makes it, of course, very difficult to find. And it sucks because the parts car as well didn't have air suspension. So yeah, we weren't able to salvage some of these brackets from that, but I'm just gonna try to sort of bend this, go somewhere in there. So I found a photo on Google Images of what the bracket should look like, and I started to bend everything back in shape. Luckily, this metal wasn't too thick. It was very forgiving and very easy to bend, but it did take a little bit of time. And just like that, we have the bracket installed with the secondary air pump. It's not perfect, but it will do. That would have saved me at least a few $100s, I reckon. Now, I don't know for sure if this air pump actually works because it was disconnected, and maybe that was causing the bags to deflate when you sort of left the car. So maybe the air suspension's all good and we don't need to do anything. But yeah, guys, it's looking pretty good. Look at how complicated it looks though. So many freaking wires. Oh my God. Now that that was finally sorted, I thought that I would reward myself by putting more of the engine parts back together. One of the most exciting parts, putting the engine back together. This is a beautiful engine. I love how they look, and the airbox and trim pieces really finish off this car. All right, I couldn't help myself. I've decided to basically test fit some of the other panels. Look at this. Brother, we've got the guard on, the headlight on. We obviously haven't welded in those pieces that we need for the frame right here, but look at this, guys. The car is now coming to shape and everything is looking very straight, guys. Look how good this thing looks. And check this out as well. This is a little bit weird. We used to have AU Falcons, BMWs, and now we have 3 W211s in the shop. We have Peter's W211. You guys probably didn't know he had that. We got the parts car, and then we've obviously got the AMG over there as well, but
from Jap to Aussie to Euro.
Yes. So I looked everywhere for a pulley on the internet, and the only pulleys that I could buy were from America, and that would take like, 2 to 3 weeks to come. I went to a wrecker and I grabbed myself an entire AC compressor that of course comes with the pulley as well. And I've taken the pulley off, and this is the exact same on the AMG. And I had to do the exact same thing with the power steering pump as well. Couldn't buy a pulley, so I bought an entire power steering pump, and it comes with the pulley as well. But I'm gonna take this pulley off and try to fit it on the pump because it's a bit of a hard job in order to get the standard pump out. But hopefully this bolts on and we have all the pulleys sorted for the AMG. So just to make life a little easier, instead of installing the entire new power steering pump, which is a difficult job, I decided I'd just pull the pulley off the new power steering pump and install it onto the old power steering pump. Because the old power steering pump didn't look too bad, just the pulley had exploded because it was made from plastic. Check that out, our new power steering pulley is on, and it's sort of an upgrade because it's metal. Thank God the parts were the same. We're now gonna focus on trying to get the pulley on the AC compressor. Very exciting stuff. We are making crazy progress, guys. The pulleys are now on. There's a quick look. Everything's nice and tight. All I need to do now is put our belt on. 6PK to 360, that should fit on. And yeah, I think we just loosen this tensioner and just chuck it on. Elon hasn't heard this car start before, so we're gonna get his reaction. What do you think so far, man?
Bit clapped out, but it should sound pretty good.
We can't run it for too long because there's no coolant yet, but we need to see if it all works. Okay. Oh, there we go. Not bad. Oh my God, the light turned on. Okay. Everything's looking okay so far. Damn, it sounds good. It is a little bit smoky. Whoa. Oh my God. What happened?
That ain't good.
Oh.
That bad boy gone.
Oh my God.
Where's
How the hell did that come off?
I think it sheared itself.
What the hell?
There's supposed to be a locking nut on there, I think, isn't there?
No, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to just press on. Oh, far out. It scared the hell out of me, man. Jesus, I wonder how that came off. Well, I'm pretty sure that's just press fit on, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe during the accident, it got a little bit wonky and came off, but I'm just gonna hammer it back on, see what happens. So, we've got the belt back on now, and I tried a bit of a dodgy method in order to keep that pulley on. Look at this. So I basically got a pin and I just hammered down the corners and basically folded in the metal because this piece of the pulley is supposed to actually be like press fitted onto the water pump. Unreal, guys, but we'll give it another start, see what happens. Attempt number 2. Okay, so far so good. Alright. Well, that method seemed to work because everything was running fine. Looks okay. I think we might have solved the issue. Thing is idling very rough. Not too sure why, but it'd be good to actually run this thing with a bit of coolant and be able to get it up to temperature. So I'm gonna start chucking everything back on, and hopefully that pulley doesn't fly off again and ruin our brand new radiator. So it was time to start piecing the rest of the car together. At this point, we were almost finished with this build. I installed the coolant line, and then I removed the old bracket for the AMG power steering pump cooler off the crashed car because it was still sort of salvageable, and this plastic piece is very difficult to find again. Oh my god, whoops. It just comes off with a few bolts on the back of the condenser, and then I was able to bolt it onto the parts car condenser, which is the same as the AMG, thankfully. I then installed the radiator and AC condenser setup, which was a little bit difficult to do because the car had obviously been in an accident, but I was able to get everything in there surprisingly very straight. I then connected up the AC lines, installed our new radiator fan, and then this panel piece on top, and then we had another special visit from our good friend Marco. Look who we have back. He's hiding in the car somewhere. Oh, there he is. Marco, welcome back, man.
Hello, hello.
What are you doing today?
Oh, matter, I'm taking out your airbag.
Oh, you're taking out my airbag?
Yeah, I'll bring my tool so I can get it out.
Oh, that was pretty quick.
Yeah, it takes 2 seconds.
Wait, what? That was very quick. God dang. So yeah, Marco's back because he's gonna help me try, I guess, start it with the key or figure out something, some sort of way that we're able to start it without having to constantly keep jumping the car. I'll update you on what he does in a second, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start putting all the panels back on. We've only got a few more to go, and then we're sweet, guys. While I tightened down the rest of the panels, Marco was inside the car mucking around with the wiring. The goal was to get the car started with the key today. I am no expert in this. Marco knows much more about this than me. He's the Mercedes wizard. And after a while, he did this. Okay. I'm just sort of doing my dodgy oil cooler tie job. And Marco's in the car, and do you want to show them what you've done, Marco?
I've actually unplugged the shifter.
That's it?
Yeah, I've overridden it.
Yeah.
And it worked. I wanted to test to see if it would work, and it actually did work, so that's a plus.
Okay. We just started the car with the key. Well, Marco just started the car with the key. That sounds crazy. Sounds crazy. Whoa! Pretty crazy. We have an E63 starting with the key now, thanks to Marco. Now, we still needed a few more parts from the parts car, like the airbag, and Marco also found out that our shifter cable wasn't adjusted correctly, and some of the clips were broken. So Marco grabbed some clips and the cable from the parts car. I then put the wheels back on, then Marco adjusted the cable accordingly.
Is it amazing what happens when someone knows what they're doing?
We were getting so close, guys. So a problem that we've been having is the shifter is like not properly going into the selected gear. So when you have it in park, it's not properly in park. When you put it in drive, it's like half in drive. So Marco's helping out and we're pulling it apart now.
Actually, no, I've got to take the shifter out anyway. I might be able to see it from the top.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we made some money back.
Market rich.
Perfect. Oh, yeah, boys. Oh, yeah. This one's covered in crap. You can have this one, Marco.
That's nothing brake cleaner can't fix.
Quite a lot has happened in the past hour or so, or it's been like almost 2 hours, but Marco figured out that there were a few more issues with the car. We couldn't get the thermo fan to run. Oh, look, this is how you know it's getting serious. Look, he's got the orange gloves on.
I'll get it. Just a fusible link for the engine fan.
So that was faulty.
Yeah, when he was in the accident, we shorted out a control unit in it. Yeah, just fried it. So we took it off the spare parts car.
That's it.
And works mint.
So this is the old fan. Yep. That's why it blew a fuse, or blew that, whatever that thing is.
I just popped in my head. Take it off the hoist and leave it overnight.
Now at this point, the car was ready to move for the first time. So we put the car on the ground, and this was pretty mind-blowing. We have seen it. It does move. Look at that, guys. Thank you so much, man.
That's all right.
Crazy.
Still got a bit of work, but
Few reps. It's got to stop. Get a shot. So Marco's now gone and he's done an incredible job of diagnosing the issues. Yeah, as you saw, the car actually moves. So we're gonna take it out of the shop, not go too far because it's still missing a bunch of panels, but I just want to feel this thing.
I've been in a normal one, but never an E63.
Yeah, I guess I've been in the parts car, right?
Oh yeah, I had to drive this heat back from the Nullarbor. Whoa.
Hope the microphones can pick that up. Dude, that sounds crazy. It does have a soft limiter though, which is annoying.
That's all right, most Euros do.
Oh, jeez, that's...
It cracks, it's like a whip cracking.
I know. Oh, it's a lot of petrol, bro. 6.2 litres.
Yeah, it gets rid of it, it just turns into noise.
This is why I do what I do. From seeing this car look like this, to now this, and now driving, there is not much that compares to working very hard and achieving your goals. This is quite literally a dream car of mine, and I can't believe that I own it, but let's see how it drives.
Wow.
Bro, I can't believe it. I'm actually driving this thing for the first time. What the hell, man?
This is crazy. It's come such a long way.
I
I picked up with Peter. Insane.
Dude, insane. Feels so weird. Let's give it a rev. You ready?
Now that's an engine.
Dude, that sounds crazy, man.
Quick, drive it out, quick.
Dude, I'm so excited, man. I can't believe I've got a running and driving E63 Amg. This is insane. I have no words. I never thought I'd own one of these cars. I sort of bought it impulsively. We'll have to do a breakdown of the costs, but we're not that far deep into this thing, and we have a running and driving E63, baby. Now it runs and drives, and we've obviously got a lot more work that we need to do to this thing. I still need to weld in the panels here. I still need to get a bumper. I still need to put the bonnet on from the parts car. So make sure that you click that subscribe button, because we are going to, of course, put the rest of this thing back together. We've got a few special surprises for this thing as well. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out. Catch you later.